Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the after the show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, we can. Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. The heck is going on here? Getting into the weekend. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Hopefully taking Suits out to Drive Shack and kicking his ass.
Okay.
Teach
That's
him a
the
lesson.
plan. Yeah.
Teach that young
ass.
buck a lesson.
That's the plan.
He has been talking about how he beat you at golf or came close to
he came in, he was kind of talking a little
bit.
bit of smack on the air the other day because we went out during the break and to Drive Shack, and Suits is a novice when it comes to golf, and he was just, chucking the thing out there, and I couldn't figure out how to freaking read the screen. I didn't know where I was shooting the ball, and we wound up pretty much tied.
We were tied for last, which just shows you how bad our trash talking is when that's what it's about. But Kevin just couldn't figure out where to aim the ball, and it didn't look that hard. I didn't understand why you were struggling so much.
He's always been bad with aim.
Yeah.
And his balls.
Couldn't figure it out.
Well, he's got no use for him.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a different Kevin Ralston than I saw that one time you took off your shoes and stuck it right in front of that golf pro who basically had the attitude, you guys are from the other side of the tracks.
And we are. It was the Little Smiles golf tournament, and Kevin walks up to the tee barefoot and nails it like a foot from the pin.
Well, the guy was trying to teach Kevin, and he's like, you guys, he had an attitude. It was very attitude-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And my boy just got up there and said, you know what,
Boink.
motherfucker, let me stick this real quick. And a very drunk Jason could not stop screaming. You would have thought we won the lottery. But did you see
We
that
were the
shit?
riffraff, yeah.
Did you see my boy?
Dropped our clubs and drove off into the sunset, and that was pretty much it.
I was happier than Kevin.
We're throwing beer cans out of the cart. Oh, it was a mess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, Suits came out, and we both just, Suits, first time. I've been out for a while, and so I got to go out because my family's like, that's just it. This kind of, we're family of shit talkers. Everybody's, that's what we do as a family. We all go out and compete, whether it be the kids or it be grandpa. He kind of started the whole thing, and he's great
He's
at
the
everything.
OG shit talker.
He's the OG, but he's, you know what? He does that understated shit talking, where it's very subtle, but, he's definitely throwing digs right and left.
You can try to be as good as Grandpa, but I don't know.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
Is it the kind of subtlety if you were eating something fatty? Oh, I'm still eating that, huh? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, he'll throw little subtle digs about
Sure
your
you should
weight.
be eating that?
He'd be like going, hey, he's like, the gut's sticking out. Looks really good on you, though. Yeah. He's like, you're really filling out that shirt. Looks great. Yeah.
Damn, Gramps.
Yeah,
You got titties? I love titties.
Yeah, that'd be it. Be like, yeah.
I'm more like the Queen. I just directly come out and insult you on it.
Yes, which is very direct. So that's pretty much it. So gotta
Pipe down over there, Sue.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, everybody
Yeah,
was
see,
shit talking, so I wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
everybody
I'm like, I got a
was.
reason here.
He's not wrong. That's all we do. We just go out and drink and shoot and shit talk and
Kick his ass, Riggy.
yeah. So I gotta knock this kid down a peg. So
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
What
You
day
let
are
me
y'all
know.
going?
I think tomorrow we want to
Okay.
go out. The only thing is I know he's got a Walmart appearance, and tell you the Drive Shack fills up. And I know when we were walking out, somebody walked in and they're like, yes, we'd like to get a place to golf. And they're like, yeah, it's 3.5 hours. Like, what?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What time does it open?
Well, I think we're going to go out pretty early. In fact, we were checking, I think 9 a.m. They do champagne cereal. You can get cereal, and instead of milk, they pour champagne in it.
That sounds gross.
I was gonna say, it tastes,
Oh, that's
it
so
tastes
too.
terrible.
Terrible.
I thought so, too. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. No, they do that stuff. You can start drinking early. We just want to make sure you can get a drink.
Hulk Hogan will be out there just to fuck shit up.
Yeah, cool. I'll have
Is he a big
club. I'll
golfer?
hit him right in the fucking face. And I'll just walk off.
I do.
That'd be better than striking a hole in one.
That's impressive.
I do think if Hulk Hogan comes around again, Kevin will
Get in the wood.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to give him a
I
wood.
just club him. Yeah.
I don't think a jury will convict you.
No, no. It'd be all good. So yeah, that's about the only thing we got. And then I want to wrap up season 2 of Succession. That's the 2 goals that I got on HBO because I think you told me, Jaybird, and 2 other people have told me that the last episode of season 2 on Succession on HBO is unreal. It's amazing.
I loved it.
It's really cool. And to me, what I like, it's kind of interesting watching it because it's about this big media family. You know, the dad starts it and then, you know, all of his kids are kind of working. And it really is the structure of how our company is, Hubbard, because we are a family-owned business. And I guess even like the owner of our business, she watches it.
Really?
Yeah, CEO. And she's like, going, it reminds me so much of my family. So that's what it is. I mean, you know, they live in $1 million homes and they fly helicopters everywhere and they go to elite clubs.
And they're in the tabloids. And everyone reports on them. And
Right.
they have protesters. It's done in very modern times where protesters are involved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to watch that because I'm like, going, oh, this is what it's got to be like to be a Hubbard.
What season is it in?
2. You could.
Okay.
There's 20 episodes right now.
I
Catch up.
I just started like during the break, and it might have been last weekend. We did maybe 5 or 6, about 5 hours a night of it.
I will say the first 3 episodes, they're not boring, but they are a little bit slow moving. They're kind of developing the characters on that show. By the mid of the first season, you're into it.
You know what I noticed too? There are a lot of shows where you just don't know how to feel about certain characters, and I think it's a lot like our show, where you know at first you're just like, we are the same way. We are like a slow boil. You know, I admit that. That's why when you do a test with a new audience and you play, they're like, What is this crap?
I agree.
We don't test well. To a new audience, they're like, I don't even know what this is. This is too much.
We don't understand.
Right, but then after a while, you kind of get, you know, what it's all about, and it's anything that's character driven. It takes a little while. And that was kind of the same way. Macaulay Culkin's brother is in this Succession, and he looks a lot like Macaulay, but with dark hair. Like in a grown-up...
Is it his little brother?
Yeah, I believe
Because
Kieran. I think it's Kieran Culkin is his name.
His little brother was in Home Alone, and he played his cousin that wets the bed in Home Alone.
Oh, that's funny. I think that might be him. This is him now grown up.
What was his name? Farrell? Slow down on Pepsi, Farrell.
Right, okay, I didn't know that was his brother. Yeah,
he's great in it. He kind of plays... He's the offbeat one in the show.
Okay.
And I didn't know at first, like, about, how I feel about this dude. But then as it goes now in season 2... he really adds a lot. He's very off-putting, and
But I've heard that comment about our show. Man, my girlfriend used to listen to you, and I fucking hated you guys. It took me about, 2 weeks, and I started really liking you guys.
Yeah.
now I'm in. But
right. And I would say the same thing about his character.
People hate us in the beginning.
It's like working out. You got to get in a groove.
You got to get in a groove, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my plans this weekend. You guys have anything exciting that's going to be going on?
I got 2 birthday parties. So
Okay.
tonight I have a birthday party at Grimaldi's.
Okay. That's a fun place.
I like it. I like the vibe in there because they give the kids pizza dough. So the kids get to play with dough while they're waiting. And I just love anytime you have an activity for them and they're not climbing the walls and going nuts. And then on Saturday, I have a surprise party for my other girlfriend, so I can't say who it is or where it is, but it's one of those surprise.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
You jump out.
In Tequesta.
Oh.
Yeah.
The surprise.
Well, surprise to you.
Okay. Bird?
We are finishing up a couple projects for the show. I know that's going to be part of it. We're finishing up a little prank video we did here in the building.
That's the one that pissed everybody off yesterday?
People were pissed until they realized they were being filmed. And they're like, oh, no, it was funny. It was funny. But, let me tell you, I've got the footage. A lot of people were
Not funny.
a lot of shit talking to
what
her.
sucks is there was one part where there was some shit talking going on, and the refrigerator turns on, and you can't hear what they're saying. You can hear like the very beginning, like they're beginning to talk shit, but I can't hear exactly what they're saying.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll have that for you early next week.
It depends on what time you go into the golf place.
Gonna go in the morning, like at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Anyone's more than welcome to
That's
join
what's
in.
smart to do. Go to a place like that right when it opens, be the first one there, and then just hang out for 3 hours.
Well, and our family too. My wife. There was one night during the break. I think it was on Saturday night. She's asleep at 5:30 p.m. I'm like
get
going,
it.
yeah. So we go to bed super early, so we get weird looks, but we come out raging. Like we are out
I know.
drinking heavily at 11 a.m. and people are like, what is going on? But we get right after
That's
it.
how I did New Orleans.
And then we go home.
Yeah.
We're home by 3 or 4 p.m. Like that's our midnight.
I love it.
And then, yeah, we're asleep by 6.
Nothing good happens at midnight. You're not missing no bullshit. Nothing good happens at midnight.
When did my boy turn into a golden girl?
Yeah, I've actually been this way for a while. Yeah.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. Complaint about Virginia. Okay. Ozzy says, cops should be held accountable, and I applaud the gentleman that documented the wrongdoing of that officer. If you missed earlier in the show, we're like, okay, is this guy a hero or a tool? James Anderson is his name, and he's got a device in his car already. So this is something he does.
He's going to such lengths.
Yes. So his device is a video camera that can record speeds.
He's a dork.
And so he follows cops to record their speeds. And he caught one that was on the Sawgrass.
I got you.
And I think it was Plantation, and her cop car was going up to 91 miles an hour. And then he took the footage and turned it in. And they have like black boxes on their cars. So they went into her black box and they could tell exactly how fast she was going. And she was doing like an average speed of 80 with hitting extremes of 91. So he got her at the extreme and then turned her in.
And she owned it.
Yeah, she did. And she said, yeah, I probably really shouldn't do that. And so that's, kind of what his thing was. He says, and she deserved what she got, as they spend year-round giving tickets, and sometimes wrongfully. Virginia has her right to her opinion, but if it was a man cop, I'm sure her opinion would have changed.
That is not true. I support cops with tits and cops with dicks. So in your face.
Nightsticks, they call them, Virginia.
Nightsticks.
Tits and dicks.
I support all cops, and I think that
Should put that on a bathroom door in a sports bar, right?
I don't hate it.
tits and dicks.
I got to tell you, I actually love it.
It's not a gender
That
thing.
would be a great name for a kind of like a honky tonk, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
that'd be a
Tits
great.
and dicks.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey, we're
shit.
going to tits and dicks tonight.
I love it.
I'm in.
It sounds like a strip club for both.
You really,
Yeah.
you need to go copyright that.
Has that ever happened? Yeah, a strip club for both.
I want that to be kind of like just a honky tonk. We go, you get real shit faced, and then you beat the shit out of each other.
You leave and you come back the next night,
Leave tits and dicks with a broken nose.
but you always come back.
You always come back for more.
Oh, they have the best drinks.
That place would actually kill in my hometown. Logan
Yeah.
would.
Oh,
They
my
need a
gosh.
tits and dicks.
Tits and dicks would kill in New Orleans.
Yeah, tits and dicks.
Yeah.
The Cox brothers would they do some damage in
Oh,
there.
yeah, they would.
They own it.
They would.
Even though they don't own it, they own it. Whether you like it or not.
So let's put this scenario in her language. If Kevin is her boss and has a rule that no one else is allowed to drink alcohol after work, including KVJ events, and he's the only one that is allowed to drink, and they have to watch him get drunk and have a good time, she wouldn't like that very much, I'm sure. Also, if he were to catch them and fine them $400 every time they were drinking, I'm sure she wouldn't like that very much. Law enforcement is a form of management, and if the rules apply to the normal employees, then they should apply to the managers as well, especially if they are off duty and not chasing or rushing to a crime. Laws are laws, and everybody should abide by them. They are set in place for a reason, so please, Virginia, why don't you think before you give your damned opinion?
I did think. And your analogy is stupid, sir, because Kevin would never not encourage us to drink at events. So why don't you get a realistic analogy and then come back? Till then, go sit at the kids' table. Adults are talking.
I'm going to the kids' table. Better food, too, by the way. Better conversation.
Jack sent an email, said Virginia is wrong. Let's hear her after she gets a speeding ticket. Cops take advantage of everything.
No, if I get a speeding ticket, I fucking own it because I was speeding. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I would not whine if I got a speeding ticket. If I'm legitimately speeding, they're doing their job.
You're not going to change your mind on this?
No.
All you're gonna
On
do,
anything, actually.
All you're going to do is make yourself frustrated. It's almost kind of like being married to her. You have to accept it
right.
and just zone out. I don't know.
wish for death.
You're just not going to change your mind.
Some of the other comments we got today about this dude, James Anderson, that likes to report the cops, said, this guy is a loser. He's been around for a long time, videoing police officers on the street for years. I know this because he followed my brother, who is a cop for a city in Broward, and he videoed him on the turnpike.
This is all he does.
Yes.
No, I mean, if this guy would actually do something worthy of his time, do charity work, do something good, you're a waste of skin,
I mean,
bro.
that's the only thing I agree with Virginia on is that he's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Unbeknownst to this loser, he was in his way to back up another police officer in another district who had no backup. And that's why he was going the speed he was going. Also, being in the field on public service as a firefighter, the public misjudges our intentions on the road. For instance, the laptop in our units give us information about traffic conditions, emergency call updates, and routing to the address calls. So where it can seem like we're playing around with our laptops, truth is we are using the tools provided to us help you. Find something more constructive to do, loser.
Amen. That's call of the day.
There's one.
It was a text.
Email of the whatever of the day.
There's one. You sound like the drunk of the day.
I wish.
There's this one dude. He goes around and he will. You know how? And I even talked about it at Walmart and some stores. They will stop and check some people's receipts, and then some people they'll just let go. And I found out what they do. If you've got an item that's out of a bag, they're going to more than likely stop you.
Or if you look homeless.
Or if you look like you just robbed, I don't know, the razor section.
I'm telling you, everybody profiles. And the person checking receipts at Walmart is going to profile.
But the rule is, from what I've been told, is if you have something out of the bag, that they have the right to check, or whatever. Well, he goes around, he'll buy all of this stuff from Walmart, and then he films them trying to stop them. And then it's like a 30-minute video. He's like, I'm not going to repay for this, but he gets into a fight with everybody. It's like, dude.
This is what you've chosen to do with your life. Life is short, baby.
I mean, I get that you're annoyed, but I mean, my gosh.
You've wasted so much of your life on a stupid mission. You're an idiot.
There's another text message that said, you also have officers that are on special teams like hostage negotiations, SWAT team members, bomb squad, and they have to get to calls quietly. The training has changed now, or sometimes they encourage you to get there quickly, but don't necessarily use your sirens because studies that we now have shown that using your sirens actually causes more accidents. So they're saying unless you absolutely have to, try not to turn your sirens on, but get there as quickly as you can. And that is a tough catch-22 where you're trying to get there quickly but safely, but without causing alarm and panic and more accidents. So how do you do all that?
Never understood that too in movies where the cops are going to catch the killer or something, but the killer doesn't know the cops are on their way
until he hears the sirens.
But they have the sirens. You're like, all right, motherfucker, I gotta get out of here. Let me stab you real quick and leave.
True. Yeah, it does kind of create that. So that's some inside perspective there. Thank you for those texts. Appreciate it.
Thank you for almost all of them.
Okay. Not real happy the ones that are calling you out.
Yes,
yeah, Kev.
Those can suck it.
You can tell Virginia's mad because she's talking like this, Kev.
Yeah.
They can suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it slowly.
That's what Virginia said. I agree with the email, by the way, not Virginia.
Malika sent this in. Milika, I don't know however you pronounce it. Apparently, this is another excuse for you to go back to New Orleans again, Virginia.
I'm always looking for one. What is it?
New Orleans is hosting a 2-day witch festival this year.
Well, let me just get my ass on my broom and go.
Wow.
Someone sent me a message to go, hey, Bird, my kid really wants to know because he thinks that, is Virginia really a witch?
And you don't know the answer, do you?
No, I do know the answer. You're a motherfucking witch. Biatch.
They say the much-awaited witchy event takes place in one of the most haunted hotels in New Orleans.
Which one?
Bourbon Orleans?
Oh, the Bourbon Orleans.
Bourbon Orleans.
Yes.
Am I the only one that thinks the witch from Wizard of Oz is absolutely horrifying?
She's pretty intense.
That whole movie is eerie.
That witch and also the witch from Snow White.
Fucking
horrifying.
So what the shit, Disney? That is such a scary witch. My gosh.
It was a different day.
It was. I think they wanted to scare the shit out. I just think society wanted to scare the shit out of kids.
You're right.
So should it be properly pronounced New Orleans?
No. So that hotel is the Bourbon Orleans, but it's actually New Orleans.
Okay, but it's not Bourbon Orleans. It's
No.
Bourbon Orleans.
Yeah, it's
So
weird.
it's spelled the exact same way, but you have to know.
Yeah, you got to know the pronunciation. It's all over the place.
It's kind of like Yamato.
Some people say the city of New Orleans, too, and that makes it really tricky.
You don't like those people, do you? They annoy you.
No, there are some older New Orleans.
But it's kind of like like it's somebody who's there and not. Like if you have you ever hear people
Anybody
who
who says Nolans, they don't know. They're not from there.
What about NOLA? Does anybody do that?
Yes.
NOLA?
NOLA, they do, yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the big NO?
The Big Easy, they do. Not the Big NO.
You can tell it's like a Boca Raton.
Exactly.
When you hear that, you're like, they don't.
You're here and you know it or you don't.
Right.
Yeah, how do you say it?
Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Boca Raton. I think I say Boca Raton.
And you say it like a
I
tourist.
think I say Boca Raton.
And
Yeah,
you're
it's-
the only native.
It really is amazing.
You are born and bred here.
Hey, Dennis, we have to go drive to Boca Raton. Yeah, I think I say it like I think I say it like a damn tourist.
You say it like a New Yorker.
It really is stunning.
It is stunning. I agree. I said I don't know much about South Florida.
Got chat room comment from Gabriel. He said KVJ was talking about the name and profession earlier. I just dropped off some stuff at a gynecologist named Ben Grabber here in Springs.
Ben Grab her?
Ben Grabber. Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're almost messing with people.
Yeah. Somebody said, Michael sent an email, said, I had a doctor growing up that was perfect for him. His name was Dr. Richard Weiner. He went by Dick Weiner.
There's a lot of
Dr. Dick Weiner.
There's a lot of Dr. Wieners out there. There's a lot of wieners, man.
There are a lot of wieners.
So many wieners, so little time.
The club I used to work for, the golf club, we had so many Dr. Wieners there. And then there was someone named Dr. Weiner. It was confusing for a lad like myself.
How do you know if it's wiener or whiner?
You did it, and there was another couple that
I would
was-
always side on. I would go Weiner.
Until corrected.
Did you just call me a wiener?
There was another one, Kuntz, and they said, and I'm not even kidding you, it was pronounced the way
Yeah.
they were the cunts. At least I think they were, unless they were fucking with me.
Any Harry in that family?
I don't know.
The cunts do like to fuck with you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I've seen it at remotes.
Yeah.
Oh, they love them some Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
He's blushing.
No, I'm not. I'm
you
just thinking about the Kuntz.
What? Yeah. What must life
I'm
be
just
like?
over here dreaming about him.
Dreaming about cunts?
Yeah.
The cunts, because that makes it less not dirty.
Whatever.
Oh, it does. So you say the cunts?
Their name could not have been the cunts.
Again, it really is a problem when you're ever asking for a table. We have a table for the cunts.
I'm right here. Let me get
Excuse
my
me?
girls.
But they was, I'm pretty sure they were serious.
We're a bunch of
Can you,
cunts.
are people always jumping in line at this family when they're trying to get table? All these ladies like, yeah, it's us.
That's us.
We'll own it. We're a
I
bunch
mean,
of cunts.
I'm like 98% sure that was their real name.
We're mostly cunts. A couple of sluts, but mostly cunts.
Oh my God. But we're saying the Kuntz term.
That family was like, somebody took our table again. We can't ever get a table anywhere. All these cunts keep grabbing it. And I mean it with a C. It's tough. That's tough.
Hopefully no one's driving through. They have to turn down their volume right
Hopefully nobody's in car line.
Yeah, I know.
Right. It's a family name, by the way. Kat in Fort Lauderdale sent an email, said, hey, my boyfriend and I never exchanged gifts either. We've been together almost 8 years, living together for 7. Our first Christmas, I opened his gift and then went into the bathroom and I cried. I put so much thought into his gift and he gave me Visa gift cards.
Oh, damn.
We were 6 months into a beautiful, fun relationship. He opened doors, paid for everything on our dates, which made me feel special. But it turns out he was a shit gift giver. He's a very hard worker and probably puts in 90-plus hours of work a week. And he doesn't have time to figure out what I want and then go shopping for the right gift for me. That's my submission, not his. So after a while, I learned that that's just not who he is. I love him so much, and we've adapted. We never buy gifts for birthdays and Christmas. It's kind of like what they do is just experience stuff together.
That's good.
I like it.
If they've figured it out and it works for them, I think it's awesome. I'm going to ask Panda if he wants to do that because it's so stressful. And I know he doesn't like going out and stressing about shopping for me and all the money and just. Let's focus on the children. Christmas is about the children. Let's put all of our energy there.
Yeah, and you got to realize too. Sometimes I think gift giving a lot of times has to do with your background. I have been around people that are big into gift giving and they just love it. They're always on the lookout for gifts. I came from a family of shit gift givers. I've always gotten terrible gifts. It wasn't anything that we put much thought into. I never got much, so it never really resonated much with me. We've never been
it's not a hot button for you. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, especially the older I got, I didn't get that many gifts, and I kind of just got used to that kind of life.
Yeah,
and
it didn't make me sad. I was just like,
it's just not a priority. You just don't think on that level.
Never felt deprived. I just felt like I've got enough. I'm good.
My mom was awesome at it. She made Christmas so special, and she made birthdays so special, and we were poor. Like, we were broke, and I don't know how she did it, but she made it look so impressive. That's kind of like how I think in my head it has to be done. But for the grown-ups, I don't think it has to.
Well, if the grown-ups...
For the kids, yes.
Yeah, you're right. For the kids, it's fun. I do enjoy that. My wife does a great job.
Well, it can be awesomely fun for the adults if they keep their head together and not become assholes. You got me that. Just enjoy the moment and have some fun with it. And they're awesome.
You're right.
It's awesome.
If there's expectations on it, her story was so true because she's like so upset. She was crushed. She had to go to the bathroom to cry. And I think it took her a second to be like, wait a minute. I've got a great guy. He works his ass off. He makes a lot of money. He opens doors for me. He's everything I want. And I'm letting myself get all upset about his gift.
That's why I like the email, because she realized this is a great person. I can't.
Yeah,
I love it.
So that's it.
She's not complaining about it.
Right. She's saying I had a realization. I said, look, get your priorities straight. You got a great dude.
But side note, I love getting a Visa gift card.
Oh, me too. I was like, I heard that. I was like, it's kind of a good fucking gift. Honestly, I love that.
Oh, that means I can go get what I want.
Exactly.
Get some drinks.
I do like. I thought that was.
They take a Visa at the gift card at the bar.
I thought the same thing.
Had another text that came in from a segment that we had earlier on the regular show too about there was a girl and her boyfriend's 16-year-old daughter will sleep in bed with him sometimes. I don't know. She didn't really state like it's a regular thing or it's like every night, but it'll happen. I think for some people it's like one call even was like, yeah, you're confusing the girl and
stunting her growth.
She's 16, stunting her growth, and there's a confusion thing that's there. It doesn't set off any alarms for any of us. I'm fine with it. Like I said in the regular segment, I've got a 21-year-old daughter. It wouldn't weird me out. I'd be fine if I were there. Look, I know what it is, and it's fine. She wouldn't, because I know it would weird her out. And if she came and got in bed, I'd be like, that's fine. I'm sleeping. You sleep. That's okay. Somebody texted in and said, from your segment earlier, I'm a female. When I was 14, my mom left my stepdad for another man and didn't come back. I hadn't even hit puberty yet. I got scared one night after watching a medical show, and I slept in my dad's bed with him, clothed. My sister came home and noticed, told our mom, and it became a thing.
Aww.
That at 14 years old, shamed me and tried to make dad look like a bad guy for it. How confusing for a 14-year-old girl to think that her dad was abusing her when he wasn't. Adults putting their sick sexual minds on an innocent thing is terrible.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, so that's something to think about.
And you're right, that would confuse the kid.
So there's no blanket statement you could ever say. You could never say it's bad, and you could never say it's good. It's a case by case.
A lot of the stuff we do talk about is really case by case, and I know that there's extreme cases on usually on every point that we talk about.
Absolutely.
So something to think about there. Got an email from JJ. Said, let me start out by saying that I'm 32 years old. I live on my own. I got 2 degrees, a good job. I support myself. Almost a couple of weeks ago, my mother walked in on my half naked. Yeah, she has no regard for my privacy, and saw my tattoo. I've had the tattoo for some time, and I never told them about it. My tattoo was a tribute to my grandmother, my mom's mom, who passed away 10 years ago suddenly. Later that day, my father called me with my mom yelling in the background, and they were pissed off about it. When they asked how long I've had it, I told them I've had it for some time, and that pissed them off even more. Furthermore, my brothers were aware I had a tattoo, and now my parents are mad at them because they didn't tell them I had one. Fast forward to today, it's been almost 2 weeks. My mom refuses to answer any of my calls or my brothers. My dad is sort of talking to me and my brothers. Now, we usually have Sunday dinner at my parents', and I'm debating whether I should show up and try to talk to my mom. I'm very annoyed at their behavior, particularly my mom's behavior. I feel like they're acting as if I murdered someone or started doing drugs. Should I show up to Sunday dinner or just cease talking to them and let them make the next move?
If this was me, I would not go to dinner because I think your parents are acting like asshats right now. And I understand that parents are going to be upset if they don't like tattoos and it's going to hurt them. But how old is this person?
32.
32. I mean, the parents got to get a fucking grip on this one.
Yeah.
If the mom is not reaching out to you, I'm not saying ignore your mom. I'm just saying this may not be the right time because you're thinking you're having like a fun, cozy dinner. This is not going to be fun and cozy. You guys need to resolve this before dinner night.
Give it a little time and let them make the first move.
Yeah.
Because they're so mad and emotional about it right now.
And a note to parents out there that you should create a warm, supportive environment for your kids, especially as they get older, because after the age of 18, they don't have to come back. You know, and we realize that our adult kids, you know, they're almost 22 now, and we want to hang out with them. And so I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to criticize them. I'm here for any kind of advice.
Lord knows you ain't criticizing about no tattoos.
No,
Well,
no, and I never said a word. Now, I'm not a tattoo person. I don't love them, and I prefer that they didn't have them if it was my preference, but it's not my damn body.
Oh, but the parents got to ask themselves this question.
Right.
What's more important to them? Proving that they're right and their opinion matters more or driving your kid away? I mean, like you're saying, you get to a point where if you throw in too many opinions, like they didn't want to go to dinner now.
Yeah.
You're going to drive people away. The older they get, they're going to be like, I'm in my 30s. You can't tell me this.
As parents, you really got to pick your battles because there is a time where if your kid is doing something harmful, if they have a drinking problem, drug problem, something like that, if they are doing something that could be harmful to their own children, if you become a grandparent, then you need to probably step in and you need to say something. But save that card for those situations, not for fucking tattoos.
I mean, you could write a very peaceful note to your parents and send it to them and say, look, I'm gonna stay away for a while until you guys cool down. Say I love you guys. This is never to hurt you, and you know what, I'm here when you want to talk, because now you're leaving it out there on a positive note and the ball's in their court now.
And it's a tribute to grandma, and it's in a place where you can't see it with clothes on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
I just know when my mom was mad about something and she was pissed and the emotions were high and I knew she wasn't going to change her mind on it, I had to give it time because you could not have a rational conversation with her, even though you could present A, B, and C and the facts were there. But if she was so emotional and she thought you were wrong and her feelings were hurt on any level, you were fucked and you had to let time get any kind of... I mean, sometimes that's how some people are.
Step away, give her a little bit of time, and also, to let her miss you a little bit, to be like, okay.
Yeah, stop trying.
Well, that's why I say send a nice, peaceful note. So then when you're like, damn, they left me a nice note, I'm not the one reaching out. Don't leave it contentious. Go with peace.
That's right. That is the best thing. You just realize that don't let things bother you. Really, what is the big problem? Take that into your weekend. Just be like, you know what, there's really very few things in life that really should get you bent out of shape. Very few things.
3 dirts a day gets me bent out. But
Save it for that.
Kevin said he's adding 4. It's going to 4.
No, he's not. He told me he's taking away 2.
All right, well, you guys enjoy yourselves this weekend. Anything you want to drop on us, mail at kvjshow.com. We'll talk to you on Monday. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.